Hello, everyone. I'm Masahiko Maeda of Toyota Motor Corporation. Thank you very much for finding time to attend our briefing today. First, I would like to talk about Toyota's safety philosophy. After that, our Chief Digital Officer, James Kaffner, will explain our new safety technologies and our initiatives for the future. Amid the COVID-19 crisis, we have been striving to turn automobiles into a driving force of the Japanese economy. However, our desire for doing so was not born from the current crisis. Rather, it is the same as the desire of Kiichiro Toyoda when he founded Toyota to enrich the lives of the people of Japan through automobiles. Entering a once-in-a-century period of profound transformation, we're aiming to be reborn as a mobility company and to enrich people's lives through mobility. To that end, I believe that we must not forget the origin of Toyota's efforts to move forward with one mind at the time of its founding. For the sake of 370,000 people and their families around the world, and for the next generation that will support Toyota in the future, we have defined Toyota's mission as the production of happiness for all. We want to work for someone other than ourselves, for the world, and for the future. However, cars that have been sent out to the world with desire to deliver happiness have caused traffic accidents, and more than 1 million people around the world perish every year due to such tragedies. So that no one will ever have to experience such sadness again, toward the production of happiness for all, we believe that it is essential to work toward zero traffic accidents. In Nagano Prefecture, there is a temple called Shokoji, which was built to pray for traffic safety. Toyota officials pray there every year. In 2019, the leaders of our automobile manufacturing rivals and suppliers gathered with us there to discuss the realization of a safe automotive society. Although we manufacturers are usually competitors, I keenly felt anew that we share the same feelings when it comes to hoping for safety. Aiming for zero traffic accidents, we want to go beyond our industry to cooperate in what we can, including with the infrastructure and government, to create safety. To realize a society with zero traffic accidents, Toyota has so far believed that it is important to quickly develop systems that can be expected to be highly effective in reducing the number of accidents, then popularize such in as many vehicles as possible. And we have so far been developing new technologies while analyzing real-world accidents and striving to achieve technologies that can reduce the numbers of accidents.
Such technologies were adopted mainly in the Lexus LS and other vehicles and went on to become preventive safety packages such as Toyota Safety Sense. Some of the technologies of the further evolved Lexus Safety System Plus A are used in the second generation of Toyota Safety Sense, which was introduced in 2018. Cumulative shipments of vehicles installed with Toyota Safety Sense exceeded 20 million units last year, and the package can now be found on almost all new passenger cars in Japan, the United States, and Europe. In this way, we are working to make safe cars by using the two wheels of advanced technology and technology that can be widely deployed. However, we are still a long way off from realizing true safety. That is why Toyota's unique concept of safety and autonomous driving technology is the mobility teammate concept, in which people and cars watch over each other, help each other, and drive like companions. Rather than the system taking over the driving or being an alternative to a human driver, the concept is based on the idea that when the driver wants to enjoy driving, the system takes a back seat to watch over safety, and when the driver wants to leave the driving up to the system, the driver can do so with a peace of mind. With the driver and the system respecting each other as partners, we want to turn the car into a companion that can be called a beloved car, even in the era of autonomous driving. And as a result, we want to deliver true safety, security, and freedom of movement. The most important thing when thinking about automation is cooperation between people and machines, which is derived from the roots of Toyota. Pictured here is Japan's first self-powered loom, which was invented by Sakichi Toyoda in 1897. It was equipped with an automatic halting device that stopped the machine when it detected that a thread had broken. This eliminated the need for a person to keep a constant watch over the machine. It was a very important invention, as people are not so inclined to want to become machine watchers. Both people and machines share responsibilities in line with what they are good at and create synergistic effects. This is Toyota's concept of automation. In other words, automation with a human touch. Our latest advanced driving support technologies developed based on this concept are known as Toyota Teammate and Lexus Teammate. In developing these technologies, we aim to help people and cars confirm each other through dialogue and complement each other, and to have such lead to safe driving. By combining the latest software with the strengths of the hardware that Toyota has so far refined and that serves as the base, we will pursue keeping people at the center of driving even as technology advances. In an explanation session with Toyota dealers from around the world last year in October, our president, Akio Toyoda, said of autonomous driving, "Changes don't come suddenly. The most important thing is to move forward while ensuring the safety of our customers." We believe that safety initiatives, not only being about what we have done so far, but what we will do from now, should be steadily advanced step by step.
Good morning. I'm James Kuffner, the Chief Digital Officer of Toyota Motor Corporation and Chief Executive Officer of Woven Planet Holdings. Today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our new Toyota and Lexus Teammate. And I'd like to explain to you how this is the first step in our journey towards a vision for future mobility powered by both excellent software and hardware. I'm very happy to announce that we are launching Toyota Teammate on the new second-generation Mirai. And I'm also happy to announce that we are launching the Lexus Teammate on the new Lexus LS 500h. Teammate technology has two key features that I'd like to talk about today. First, I'd like to share with you more about Advanced Drive, a truly state-of-the-art driving support technology, which you'll be able to see some demonstrations of today. The second key feature is our Advanced Park. Through state-of-the-art integrated cameras and ultrasonic sensors and the latest in parking assist technologies, we can support the driver in recognition, judgment, and operation through steering, acceleration, braking, and gear changes for a safe and secure parking experience. To utilize Advanced Drive on an expressway, the system will notify the driver with an Advanced Drive Ready display. The driver can confirm operation by pressing the switch, and after confirming safe conditions, the cameras, lidars, and radars inform the driver that hands-off functions are now ready. The steering, acceleration, and braking operations are now automated, and the car is able to regulate its speed, adjusting to the traffic around it. The system constantly monitors the surrounding conditions, which enables the system to safely take over steering operations for the driver's comfort and convenience. If the lead car slows down and there's a speed difference, the system can automatically propose an overtaking maneuver. Confirming the maneuver, the driver can hold the steering wheel, confirming that the way is clear, and the system will also confirm that the driver is able to pay attention, cooperating as teammates to execute a safe lane change. The system is able to constantly monitor the surrounding traffic conditions and confirm with the driver safe operation. When approaching a junction, the driver is able to automatically have the system change lanes safely when there's a lane split, and the system will confirm that the driver is paying attention. When approaching an S-shaped curve, the meter will display to the driver an approaching curve. The system will automatically adjust the speed according to the geometry of the road so that the driver can have increased comfort and safety. The system is intelligent to understand when there's a large truck in the adjacent lane and automatically adjust the centering of the vehicle to keep a safe distance for drivers' comfort and convenience. The car is able to also regulate speed when there are merges and incoming traffic. When vehicle-to-vehicle connected technology exists, our ITS Connect display will be indicated on the meter. For ITS Connect enabled vehicles, the system will be able to keep track of acceleration and braking operations to follow the car smoothly in front. Advanced Drive is always monitoring the driver's health state for safety. If the system detects that the driver's eyes are closed, the car will be able to move automatically to the shoulder of the road, turn on hazard lamps, and stop operation. HelpNet will be contacted to make an emergency assist. Finally, on approaching the exit, the system is able to inform the driver to take over control of the steering wheel for a smooth transition back to manual driving from the advanced drive mode. Some of the 5 key technology features about advanced drive I'd like to talk about. First, the system is intelligent. We have a powerful supercomputer on wheels, incorporating the latest advances in deep learning and artificial intelligence technology to create a truly responsive and capable system. The system is able to predict and respond to many different traffic situations in order to provide this experience for customers. The system is designed from the ground up to be highly redundant and reliable. It also is extremely perceptive with 360-degree surround multimodal sensors incorporating state-of-the-art advanced LiDAR, camera, and radar, fusing all of that information together to create a good understanding of surrounding traffic motion. drivers are able to interact with the system through a well-designed HMI that provides seamless communication, allowing the car and the driver to truly be teammates. Finally, this system will get even better over time, being the first vehicle that's fully upgradable that Toyota and Lexus have produced, wirelessly over the air, both software and available hardware upgrades. The Mirai and the LS will both be upgradable, both in terms of software and hardware, and these vehicles will have tremendous potential to provide a lifetime of value for our customers, enabling personalization, customization, and new features that individuals can enjoy. This is really the first step of bringing customer first and software first as a new value. We were able to listen and respond to customer needs and bring to market new functions more rapidly. This is really an important first step on our journey towards software-first development. Software-first development means that we design the architecture of the software first and then select appropriate hardware to realize a great system. Leveraging Toyota's experience in producing reliable hardware and combining that with quality software, we can build ever better products for our customers. Software first doesn't mean that software is more important than hardware. Software first just means that we design the architecture, then choose the hardware. We need both excellent hardware and excellent software to provide true value for our customers. We will continue to do this through craftsmanship and attention to detail, creating quality hardware which has been inherited in the Toyota production system. We now seek to invest in state-of-the-art tools to create high-quality software at Woven Planet, and with our partners in the Toyota Group, we'll be able to create highly reliable systems that create true value for our customers. All of this is aimed at creating truly a beloved car for our customers. And today's announcement with the Mirai and the LS represent an important first step on our journey for software-first development to provide safe and secure mobility to customers. Thank you very much.
Together with Maeda and Kafner, we will have Ken Koibuchi, a Senior General Manager, Advanced R&D and Engineering Company, and also Tomoya Kawasaki, General Manager at Automated Driving, Advanced Safety System and Development Division, will join. This is Fujisawa from Kyoto. Hello. So in your presentation, you mentioned about the human-centered philosophy of Toyota. And in this development, your awareness about this automated driving, including the competitors? How do you recognize those challenges and how did you reflect them on your development? And what kind of advantage would that give to drivers? That is the first question. And the second question is that in realizing this technology, you might have needed some other approaches. And what are the difficulties and what points did you pay special attention to? Can you mention them? Yes, Mr. Fujisawa, thank you very much for your question. At Toyota, as you are aware, we are human-centered. So as I mentioned before, our President Akio Toyoda said that the most important thing is to secure safety of customers, and we make step-by-step progress. As you know, at Toyota, we have a technology called TSS, and we introduced that from 2015. And since then, we've been making step-by-step progress so that customers can feel reassured and safe. So the feelings of customers are very important to us. That is our philosophy. In other words, drivers need to feel reassured and safe to use particular function. That is quite important to us. And as Mr. Kaufner just mentioned, when the car is passing by trucks, usually, unconsciously, we might be avoiding trucks, or maybe we are shifting our cars a little bit to the sideways. So that kind of unconscious notions are being incorporated so that we can be close to the natural driving styles of the drivers. And that is the center of our approaches. When it comes to difficulties or the points that we paid special attention to, would be how the drivers would feel, the customers would feel, because it differs from person to person and from a customer to driver. We had various kinds of discussion, and also we imagined what that would be. And Koibuchi, who got involved in actual development, would add some comments. Thank you very much for your question. This is Koibuchi speaking, and I'd like to add some comments. So this automated driving technology would enable us a ultimate safety. And also to realize that it would be applied to the own cars and also service cars like robot cars. Those would be the two different applications. And this time, we thought for a long time how would it be to be applied to the own cars. Because it's personally owned cars, drivers would be driving the cars themselves. That has to be incorporated. So they have to be driving themselves, and the automated driving technology will be behind the drivers to reassure them. There has to be a mixture into this product. And as a result, we came up with the mobility team concept. In this development stage, we learned and we debated, and to what extent should we automate the cars to make customers happy? That was the ultimate answer we wanted to give us. And what about the shift from automation and the customers, the balance between the customers driving and automation? Where would be the barrier or the borderline between them? Where should we place that to make it more convenient and make customers happy? That is the kind of discussion and the trials that we've made all along. So we went through a trial and error process, and as a result, this is the product that we were able to land at. And on the other hand, as I mentioned in the beginning, development for the service cars are also ongoing. And that would be quite different from the personally owned cars because we can provide mobility to those drivers who cannot drive cars themselves. And that is the intention behind. And that is the style and approach that we reached after we discussed through these POV cars. And also when it comes to difficulties, this is advanced drive support. In other words, we give a lot of intelligence to cars. In other words, the power of software will be quite important. And as we do more development, and as Mr. Kaufner just mentioned, we are going to use the potential of software based upon hardware. So the up and coming difficulties and challenges will be mentioned by Mr. Kaufner now.
Thank you. There are many new challenges that we face, and it's been said that there's a once-in-a-100-year transformation happening in the automobile industry: CASE, connected, automated driving, electrification, and sharing. Those four things are happening at the same time, and tremendous progress has been made in artificial intelligence and machine learning to provide new capability and new possibilities. And this is our first step to really create a system that leverages all of that new technology in a way that's human-centered. This automation with a human touch philosophy that Mr. Maida talked about is strongly connected to the philosophy of Teammate. So Toyota Teammate and Lexus Teammate today are really that first step of realizing that dream, but leveraging the state of the art in both excellent sensors, powerful computing, tremendous new algorithms for artificial intelligence, and trying to put them together in a system that provides good value to customers. This is really going to grow and become even more advanced in the coming years, but we're really excited about the future potential working at Woven Planet with Toyota and our partners to bring safe mobility to everyone.
Thank you very much. This is Shimizu. Can you hear me? Thank you. So there are two questions that I have in relation with the earlier question. So earlier, Kafuner-san talked about the perception, that with this perception capability, the car will be able to recognize the surrounding. And you also talked about machine learning too. So for example, a human driver, not only the front car, will also be looking at whether there is a large truck in front of that front car. So that kind of surrounding environment will be constantly be recognizing by the driver when usually driving. So does this machine learning type capability is installed in this system that you're offering today? And for another question, like Maeda-san said, the user's safety will be secured first and foremost in further developing the automated driving. You didn't talk anything about which level, and probably this level 2 and 3, this kind of number shouldn't be focused on too much. However, as a way of thinking, as a way of understanding, what kind of conditions are necessary to in response to the regulations related to WP29 level 3 level, what kind of conditions will make it a level 3 level? What were the conditions needed for Toyota to have a go on the level 3? In Rally Challenge, we've received a lot of support from you, Shimizu-san, and this year also we have the Rally Challenge, so we look forward to working with you this year too. So the first question we'll ask Kaufner-san to respond, and then the second question, I'll take it. I'll respond after Kaufner-san. So Kaufner-san will go first.
Thank you, Shimizu-san. Yes, our perception systems are trying to estimate in real time the condition of the surrounding traffic using advanced machine learning. And this is the first product that Toyota has brought to the market that utilizes advanced deep learning in its systems. That means that we have to innovate both in terms of understanding and testing the system reliably. So we leverage tremendous testing both physically on the real world as well as creating virtual worlds and virtual simulations to scale the testing. And maybe I could ask Mr. Kawasaki to comment more on some of the perception systems that we've been created to create models of traffic. Mr. Kawasaki.
Thank you very much, Shimizu-san, for your question. And this time, LiDAR, radar, and the camera, these three sensors have been consisted in the system to do the surrounding recognition and sensing. And for your first question, you said that not just the front car, but the car in front of that front car will be tried to be recognized by the driver. And we have tried to do that with this system as well. Radar will be the key technology here, I believe, but the two cars in the front will also try to be captured with the system. And this system, as it was explained in the presentation, is an upgradable system so that in the future, this will be further evolving. And so that kind of features will be continuously be developed and to be introduced. Thank you. So going to your second question about the consideration to user safety and what kind of conditions are necessary so that we can call and have a go to level 3. So as you, Shimizu-san, has said, it's not just about the number of levels, and we don't think this is the only important thing. And I might be repeating myself, but what is mostly important is about the customers. When the customers are driving, how they feel. So in a nutshell, it's about having our customers feel safe and secure and being able to rely on the system. So at this point of time, we have made this announcement and launch of this system. So we first want to receive the feedback from our customers. We believe that will be very important for us. And for us, we want the customers to feel safe and secure as possible. So to do that, as we have explained, we have been setting various targets like consideration for the surroundings, so forth. And sometimes we are not sure whether what we have targeted to achieve is understood or felt by the customers in the same way. So this is the kind of feedback that we'd like to see, whether there is any gap. And also we'd like to see whether it is going to be a convenience felt by the society, and if the society is ready to accept the level 3 type of system. That kind of feedback is also important. So not just the customer situation, but we also are looking forward to understand the surrounding society situations as we proceed with our development. That is the current state that we are in. Did we answer your question? Thank you very much. Yes.
Hello. You can all hear me, correct? Super. May I ask in English? Thank you for your time today. I just want to confirm some simple facts. Getting back to the level question, should we consider this level 2? Is that my understanding, as opposed to level 3? Also, was this the same as the Lexus Teammate announcement that was made last year in July? And at that time, it was said that the technology would be released by the end of the year, meaning 2020, but it's now April of 2021. I'm wondering if this has been delayed and what has caused the delay. Was it related to the chip shortage, perhaps? I don't know. What if there was a delay? Can you explain that? And finally, what is the possibility for rolling this out in the United States? Is that possible there, or what kind of challenges or limitations are there to introducing this to the United States?
Thank you very much for your question. So simply put, so this time, this is considered to be level 2. But as Mr. Shimizu mentioned, it is not either level 2 or level 3, but it depends if customers can be reassured and feel safe in using it. So that is what we want to emphasize this time. And also in terms of timing for Lexus, we don't know if it is appropriate to say we were delayed, but it is quite important that we are complete enough to reassure customers for safety. So that is the timing that we were able to achieve that. And also with regards to the United States, it is the future plan. So we would like to refrain from making comments at this moment. That's all.
I would just like to add that one of the challenges that we had for developing this system is doing all of the testing during coronavirus and COVID. So that did impact our schedule a bit for the testing, especially the on-road testing and operations that we had globally. Travel was also restricted, but we were able to use digital technology and tools and keep the product on schedule despite the challenges of COVID. We also were able to, because of the little extra time, able to refine and improve the features. And what I'm really most excited about is that because this is upgradable wirelessly over the air, the system can keep getting better and providing improved features and improved safety to our customers. So I'm really, really excited to be able to now have people experience it.
Thank you.
This is Katori speaking from Yomiuri Newspapers. Thank you. Regarding OTA, I have a question. So I think that's a very main characteristic of the system. And you said that it's the first step. And this time it's Lexus, the luxury brand that you're introducing it to first. But going forward, is it going to be expanding into other models that Toyota has? And I also think that with OTA, you can do many things. So what is the image that you have in utilizing this OTA function? For example, taking Tesla, WAP, they have a upgrading feature that is with cost. So do you have any image of how you will be developing this into the future? Thank you very much. I think this is exactly the question for James Kuffner from Woven Planet. And thank you for that kind of question. So James Kuffner will respond.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Katori-san, for your question. We are actually announcing today both the Toyota Mirai as well as the Lexus Teammate. So we have Toyota Teammate on the Mirai. We also have Lexus Teammate. And really, this is a first step, as I mentioned, in creating software first. Software first actually allows reusability in a hardware-independent way. So our plan is to keep developing this technology, to keep investing in advanced safety, so that we can bring these features more broadly. Hans had asked about expansion. We've tried our best to design the software to be truly global and to provide reusability so that we can have faster to market features across a large vehicle lineup. I think all of the cars in the future are going to be upgradable. And of course, much like people are using their smartphones today, they will be more customizable and having software features that people can personalize. And so I'm really, really excited that this is really our first step in the journey toward realizing software first for Toyota. And we will learn from our customers, and also our vehicles will learn from the use, and we will develop them and improve them together.
So my question is mainly going to be on hardware. Mirai, electrified cars, and motor drive cars, and Lexus LS is a hybrid, and it is installed with engines. So those two, I think, share the same platform, but the driving source is different. So I think I wonder if there's a difference in control, or are you using a common ones? Or Mirai is a motor drive, so was it easier for you to develop? That is the kind of things that I would like to ask, because when it comes to automated driving, people think that they are all EV. People tend to think that it has to be EV to do automated driving. So I was wondering if that is the truth. Now, I think those two models are a very good example. Therefore, I would like to ask you those questions. Thank you very much for your question, Mr. Okazaki. It is true that people around the world some people think that automated driving equals to EVs, and we recognize that. But our basic philosophy at Toyota is that we want to mass produce happiness. So when it comes to electrification, environmental technology should be penetrated to be environmentally friendly, and I think safe technology is the same. So based upon this safety philosophy, our development of powertrain should not give difficulties to our development of this kind of technology. So no matter what kind of vehicles or models or units, technology has to be applicable. When it comes to more the specific difference of technology, Koibuchi will answer. So as you have pointed out, we have hybrid and FC, and we installed this system to those different cars. But actually, the basic part of the system is actually the same. Of course, the parameters are different, but they're basically the same. However, through this development efforts, what we learned was that for automated drivings, for the normal ACC, it has the same tendency. More than the normal drivers, you tend to step on the accelerators or decelerate more moderately, so the movement is slower. In other words, the detail, the performance difference is actually easy to tell. So when we develop this advanced technology, we had to brush up the cars, which is the basis and the foundation. And as you mentioned a little bit, Mirai is driven by motors. So more than LS, the powertrain has a different attributes, but it is applicable and it is absorbable. But for one thing, when we come up with these more intelligent cars, it does consume electricity and power. If it's hybrid, there's no problem. But now it's easy to apply for electric vehicles because of this power supply. But in the future, we would like to reduce this kind of constraints. So we need to simplify systems and reduce the power consumption more than now. Thank you very much.
I'm from Trinity Newspapers. My name is Sobukawa. Good to see you. I have mainly two questions. It might be a detailed question, but with this announcement, we have the advanced drive technology now installed. So how much you can be advanced driving can be supported on the highway is one area I was thinking about. Maybe my understanding was not correct, but from the entrance of the highway to the end of the highway, the driver doesn't have to do any operation. It will be the intent of the system. That was my understanding. But what I heard today was that, for example, in lane changing, the driver will have to hold on to the steering wheel. So that kind of operation will still be necessary on the driver's side. So is it because of the safety aspects, or like Koibuchi-san was talking about the balance of the automated driving and the people driving to drivers balance? So I believe in order to strike that balance, you have those people operations still yet. But I really wanted to ask, why is it that you have to have the human intervention yet? And another question is regarding OTA. It was asked earlier too, but I wanted to know a little more in detail, like how much in frequency, what kind of feature upgrade is possible with OTA. If you can deliberate as much as you can, I would be grateful. So those are the two questions I have. Thank you, Sobukawa-san, for your question. For your first question, will be about the teammate concept. We're having the partnership between the people and cars. It is a very difficult topic that you have pointed out. And we don't think that with this system we can solve everything. And like I've said earlier, there might be differences according to the customer. So with that in mind, sometimes maybe the customer don't want to rely 100% on the machine. They don't want to feel that way. And what is the how is it that we can provide that kind of a feeling to the customer that they are not relying 100% on the system? And so the details, Koibuchi-san will explain in later. And your second question about OTA, the frequency of updates, later on, James Kuffner will respond to that part. Thank you for your question. And for this advanced driving support technology and system, one big difference from a human driver, or what we feel, is that if it is a person, if it is human, when you do lane change, you will even if you don't have a spot to change the lanes, you will have your blinker on so that the blinker on so that the other drivers will understand that you want to make a lane change, and you expect that the other drivers will make room for you to do lane change. So that's the behavior of a human being. But in a certain sense, that means that the drivers on the road will be sharing the risk, and you have a trust-based relationship with the other drivers on the road. But in case of automated driver, if there's no room to do a lane change, is it okay to allow to have a lane change? That is one question we asked during the development. And probably that is one type of design philosophy to have. But this time for us, we try to look at the balance between the automated driving and the driver's driving. And when we try to hit that balance, we first thought that we should prioritize and focus safety. So automated, we don't want to just rely on automated driving and at the very end that the system can't handle it, pass it on to the driver. Rather than that, we thought that if it's a difficult situation, we want to have the system hand over to the human as a little earlier. And going forward, because with the connected technology and with the OTA software upgradable features, we will, as we watch how the customers are going to use this product, there is a high possibility and potential that the specifications will change. But as a first starting point, this is the design philosophy that we implemented. So we have tried various versions in trying to hit this balance. And this time, this announcement is one of the answers that we have come up with in this timing. Thank you.
And maybe I can just briefly comment, Sobukawa-san, on your other question regarding OTA. As Mr. Kobuchi has discussed, we're really trying to create a safe system that can provide comfort and convenience as well as safety, and trying to find the right balance. But what I'm really excited about is the possibility to improve those over time as we learn and we get feedback from customers. We can improve the system. And what's wonderful is that the software, we've designed the hardware so that it's capable enough to run additional software and features. So I'm really, really excited about that. And we have many features and prototypes and things in development. So look forward to having a chance to announce those in the future. But what is wonderful is that our customers today can experience Toyota Teammate and Lexus Teammate, and those customers will also get future value through software updates. So this is really, again, the first step in realizing our software-first vision for the Toyota Group. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Kafna repeated software first and the big data platform. How do you think about that in a society? Because 2 days ago, Toyota Isuzu collaboration was announced, and also Toyota announced a collaboration with NTT last year. So owner car, service cars, as a Japanese OEM who has both product lines, the so-called GAFA, including Microsoft and Google's, how are you going to work with those companies? Now that the central government is pursuing the digitalization
And can you use that as a following wind to build that in an early stage? Maybe you can give us a detailed explanation to your policy. Thank you very much for your question. Well, first of all, as to the big data and as we treat the customer's information, we would like to base ourselves on the privacy law of Japan, the Act on the Protection of Personal Information, to protect the customer's information. And at the same time, as we mentioned, we are targeting at the own drivers or owner drivers. That was the starting point, but ultimately, in the future, as you mentioned, we would like to target at commercial use to improve their convenience and efficiency. We do have expectation to leverage this technology in those areas. So on the 24th of March, we made an announcement of CJP, and we do have in our perspective that not only the POV customers, but also for the commercial customers, we want to use these big data and connected data for them as well. So as I mentioned before, the ultimate exit is the many types of customers. So for us, in terms of the commercial vehicles, what kind of problems are they facing? And if in case of POVs, what kind of problems do they feel? We need to stand by them, and by talking and communicating with them, we'd like to use this data to improve the convenience and efficiency and for the benefit of society. And that is the major point. And frankly speaking, that could be the difficulty as well. And on that note, what kind of collaboration do we need with the software companies in the world? Well, honestly speaking, there are many things that are unclear. And sometimes we do have to think about that as well. But first of all, as Toyota, we want to be close to customers so that we can cover many types of usage from the personal owned to commercial usage. We want to learn many things and to constantly think in how to apply those data. So, Mr. Kafna, if you have any additional comments, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really excited about the many improvements and advances in digital technology. And this is something new for the automotive industry and an opportunity for a company like Woven Planet to really create a center of excellence around leveraging the potential of digital technology, not only to make our development cycles better and more efficient, but to bring state-of-the-art features faster to our customers across many different vehicle models. And you mentioned the Toyota Hino Isuzu partnership around case technology and digital technology for commercial vehicles. This is really happening in all sectors of the market. And so Woven Planet intends to really cooperate and leverage all of the innovations in the IT sector, working with partners to create the best value and the best products for our customers. So for me, I think connected cars with data and improving software and training those AI systems with modern cloud technology is essential for our development. So Woven Planet is working closely with our Toyota Group partners to really bring that state of the art. And as Toyota Chief Digital Officer, it's my intention to be leading the transformation for digital technology for Toyota and realize that for not only the 5.5 million people in the automotive industries in Japan, but really for all of our customers worldwide and employees worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So this is the Daily Automotive newspaper. Fukui is my name. Can you hear me? So on the news release, you talked about the hardware that the basis for the software upgrades, that it is a high quality and it is has the state-of-the-art features on the hardware also. That was written on the news release. And this time for the advanced drive, you said you have the LiDAR. But other than that, for the hardware, to in anticipation of the upgrading features, what kind of state-of-the-art hardware have you introduced to this package? If you can explain in some specific items, I'd be grateful. And also about the price. So for Mirai, usual grade, normal grade, and with the advanced drive, the difference will be 550,000 yen. So whether this will be cheap or expensive, I think that depends on the customer, and probably you have the pricing based on your strategy. But lighter, these hardware, state-of-the-art hardware has been introduced, and just having a gap of 550,000 yen gap, probably you also were able to do some cost reduction with the technology development. So if you can share with us some examples. Thank you, Fukui-san. And recently, and thank you for coming to Fukushima to Flare. It was a very good experience for me. So thank you on that occasion. And for the question that you asked about the details of the hardware side, Koibuchi-san will respond. And this time, the teammate concept for this announcement or for this introduction of teammate concept, many suppliers, many suppliers have cooperated with us, and we work together in this development. Denso has supported some areas and other suppliers too. So various suppliers have been working together in also the cost reduction area so that we can provide a reasonable, affordable package to our customer. That was in mind during the development. And as a result, the gap is 550,000 yen. Whether this is expensive or if customers feel that it is very reasonable, it really is about how the customer individuals feel. So continuously going forward, the various features being installed, we would like to work together with Denso, Aishin, NVIDIA, Luminosas, these various suppliers. We will be continuing to cooperate and support each other, and also with the other suppliers that I didn't give the names here too. It's very Toyota-like probably, but to have good quality and reasonable cost products is what we are trying to develop as usual. So the details will be explained by Koibuchi-san. Thank you for your question. Now for this car, as you have pointed out, there has been many types of technologies, first technologies being introduced for Toyota, and one of the representative first technology will be the LiDAR that is at the front side, and this has been developed just for the system that we're announcing today. And earlier in Kufner-san's explanation, we talked about the characteristic of being intelligent, like a supercomputer on wheels. So as the brain for that intelligent system, NVIDIA, Renaissance, the system on chips, SoCs, those various features have been concentrated on the chip, and that has been mounted. And in addition, the driver's status monitor was developed by Aishin, and also for the maps, DMP, the national project DMP, was the company that has provided the data that we developed the map for. So those will be the main suppliers we worked with, and other suppliers as well. As a base, the conventional ADAS type of vehicle sensors is mostly adopted. And so it's a very large scale, a broad scale system that we have introduced. As you can imagine, as a mass production manufacturer, maybe it's our destiny, but when we can secure volume, we will be able to reduce the cost. That is possible to achieve. And Fukui-san, when I met you in Flare in Fukui Prefecture, so the wind power generation was done. I think you understand what kind of approach we take for the wind power generation too, using the technologies. And it's not just the automobile, but these technologies can be adopted in other non-automotive areas. Honestly speaking, I really learned a lot, new things for that flare wind power generation area project. And so this time, I think the technologies that will be adopted into this package have the possibility to be introduced to other areas. So we're having that perspective, trying to look for areas to expand the usage and utilize and leverage the technologies that we have introduced this time. And that will help to raise quality and to reduce costs. That's how we think about it. So did we answer our question? Thank you. Can you hear me now? Yes. So I have two short questions. The first one being that in the future, are you going to go into the penetration stage with this advanced driving penetration? And then when you on the press release, you said that there is a driving monitoring and they'll be freed from the steering wheels. And now, this hands-off operation, there's not a correct understanding in society about this operation. So, based upon that, how are you going to improve the social acceptability in terms of this? And the second question is that with this kind of technology, you can make a partial answers. What about the well cab and welfare cars? Are you going to partially apply those technologies to those welfare cars? Yes, then thank you very much for your question. So when it comes to social acceptability, we cannot make a unilateral decisions. In other words, we are launching this kind of a product, and at first, we would like to hear customers' feedback, and then we can give feedbacks against them. And then, of course, the dealers and other related stakeholders, we would like to take the responses and feedbacks from them as well. And at the same time, from the media and journalists like yourselves, we would love to receive the feedbacks from you too. And based upon these voices from the society through various kinds of channels, we would like to watch and monitor those. And other than that, we will find approaches to listen to you. And we have many different kinds of distribution channels at Toyota. And being the best in town, we're trying to be best in town. We are trying to be close to the local communities in extending our business. So through those best in town activities, we would like to pick up and absorb those voices from the local community more and more. And to your second question, with regards to well gap, there would be some expectations, and at the same time, the price setting and customers' voice for value for money for well cabs. We do hear some very strict comments. So I think cost is a part of the social acceptability. Therefore, we have to seek for the best balance. And that's going to be one of the difficulties we are going to face. It's not just limited to automated driving, and it would be the original challenge of the well cab. So we have to have that kind of a holistic view in providing this kind of product to the society. We would keep thinking about those. And since we received your comments and feedback, we would like to take them seriously and then try to reflect them in our product. Thank you very much.